Hi, my name is Emma Jones, and I'm making this video for the Political Science 364 class on National Security, Foreign Intelligence, and Terrorism. I'm speaking on the debate over whether or not drones are useful or not for national security purposes. I believe that drones are very important for national security for a multitude of reasons. The first is for gathering information. Drones allow for unmanned interaction to go and gather information on maybe a terrorist cell that they're watching or somewhere that our troops are going to be going into. They're able to gather information on how many people are there, what kind of weaponry they have, how the land is all laid out so that our troops aren't walking in blind. For someone who, like me, has family in the military and has watched people that I love go overseas where they're going to be in those kinds of situations, I find it very, very comforting knowing that those drones are there to give information to our troops so that they can protect not only our national security interests overseas, which is what they're there to do, but that way they're putting themselves in a little bit less harm. There's always things going on, especially over in like the Middle East right now, but the fact that the drones are there allow for a little bit more information for our troops heading in and a little bit less walking in blind, for example. Another way that these drones are very helpful for national security is not only just gathering information for our troops, but gathering information in general. Gathering information on activity with both non-state and state actors, specific terrorists or terrorist cells that our government is watching, to make sure that they're not plotting something maybe against another one of our allies, another neighboring state, or our country itself. And so these drones, again, allow for the unmanned interaction where instead of having somebody going in as a spy or somebody going in flying a plane themselves, trying to take pictures or gather video or get information in some way, we have a drone which is still being handled by a trained pilot, but they're at a safe and secure secondary location where if something happens to that drone, now that country knows that we were watching them, which isn't the best, as we've seen a lot, especially in recent news, but it allows for safety for any of our government officials, our troops, FBI, CIA agents, all of those kinds of people that are working towards national security interests, to protecting our country, to protecting our troops, protecting other countries that we're allied with, that the drones allow them to gather that information without putting themselves in harm's way, which that's kind of a big goal, is to not die while you're trying to protect your country. Another way that these drones are very helpful for national security interests is that some of them do carry missiles. While these missiles should not be used on a regular basis at all, I firmly believe that these drones should primarily be used for gathering information and leaving the contact and missiles, or those kinds of dangerous interactions, maybe leaving those to some other aspects other than drones. The drones do allow for missile attacks on terrorist cells or places that they need to destroy, basically. And the drones allow for that also to be an unmanned interaction, or unmanned plane flying that. So if it gets shot down, again, our troops don't die. And we can continue on with the mission. This isn't, again, I don't believe that this should be the primary use for the drones, but it definitely is a helpful way that these drones can assist in protecting our national security interests. One of the downsides to drones is that you can't always get the same information that you can from pictures and photographs that these drones are able to give us, and sometimes video, as you can from people on the ground. having those people on the ground who are seeing firsthand, hearing firsthand what's going on, and are able to get information that way is always a much more reliable way. But again, it is putting people in firsthand physical danger versus the drones allow for a piece of metal to be going through the sky, still getting us the information without putting someone at risk for physical harm or even death. So while they're not always the best at gathering the information or taking out their target, the technology is always improving, and I believe that this does definitely allow for better intelligence, for national security, for protecting our people, our troops, and we have a long way to go. But with technology, I feel like these will get even more successful and allow for us to have better intelligence on our foreign countries and know what's going on before we send people into harm's way.